Hi guys, welcome back to Kay's Kitchen. Today we'll be making these spooky Halloween desserts. These are red velvet eyeball candy cake balls. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so the ingredients will be red velvet cake box, vegetable oil, 4 eggs, water, cream cheese frosting, white melting wafers or any white melting chocolate, candy eyeballs, and red writing gel. Alright, first step is to put your oven on 350 so it can preheat while we make our cake. And to make our cake will be red velvet cake mix, 4 eggs, our water, and our vegetable oil. First I'm going to pour my cake mix in the bowl. Make sure you get all the powder out. And you can add these ingredients in any order you want. This is just how I add them to the bowl. And then I'm going to add my water. My vegetable oil. And my 4 eggs. Make sure you don't get no shells in there. 2, 3, 1 more. Alright, now that we have everything in there, we're going to mix it up. You can use any spatula of your choice. We're going to mix it until all this powder is red, since it's red velvet cake. Alright guys, here is our cake mix fully mixed. It should be bright red if you're doing red velvet cake. Now we're going to add it in our non-stick pan. If you don't have a non-stick pan, you can always use vegetable oil or the non-stick spray. Alright, let's pour it in our pan. Alright, here we go. You want to make sure you scrape all sides of the bowl, so you can make sure you get all the cake. Now this part you can do with any kind of cake mix that you want. It depends on what you're making it for. Any holidays or parties. This is for any cake mix. Alright, and we're going to put this in the oven for about, let's say about 20 minutes depending on your oven, or until the cake is no longer showing on your toothpick or your knife. Alright guys, our cake is done. We're going to let it cool down for 5 to 10 minutes, just so it's not so hot when you touch it with your hands when you mix it. Alright, for our next step, you're going to need a big mixing bowl, your cream cheese frosting, and your slightly cooled cake. And we're going to mix it together. Alright, so we're going to take little chunks of our cake and put it in our bowl. A little bit at a time. Now you want your cake hot, but not too hot to where you can't mix it with your hands, because you want the cream cheese frosting to melt, and that's what makes the cake stick to each other when you roll it into a ball. So we're going to get all this cake in this bowl, and then we're going to put our frosting jar in it. Now that we have all our cake in our bowl, we're going to put our whole jar of cream cheese frosting Now if your cake balls don't stick together when you roll it into a ball, you can always add more frosting. Alright, so I'm just getting the little bit of frosting that's left in here. Make sure you scoop it off the spoon too, because you're not going to use your spoon to mix it. Alright, now we're going to mix it all together with our hands. You can use gloves or no gloves, it's all up to you. Now you want to make sure you mix this cream cheese frosting all throughout the cake, so all your cake can stick together. This will take a good 5 minutes before you can fully mix it. Alright, now that it is well mixed with the frosting, we're going to take our non-stick cookie pan, or you can, if you have a regular cooking pan, you can just always use non-stick spray or vegetable oil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a teaspoon size or an ice cream scoop size of your cake, and you're going to roll it into a ball and place it on this sheet, and you're going to do that with all of your cake mix. So let's go. Now you want it to be like this, or you can make it smaller or bigger, but you want it to make it look like a ball as much as you can. And we're going to do this with all of our cake mix, and then we're going to put it in the freezer. Alright, this will take some time, so I'm going to come back when I have all my cake balls on the sheet. Alright guys, here are my cake balls. Now once you're done getting all your cake balls onto your cookie sheets, it could be more than one if you have a lot of cake mix left over, we're going to put it in the freezer for a minimum of 1 hour. The longer the better. That way they stick together when you go ahead and dip them in your chocolate. Alright, we'll be back in 1 hour. Alright guys, so before you take your cake balls out of the freezer, make sure you melt your chocolate. You can either do these white baking chips on the stove, or you can do the white melting wafers, which is in the microwave. It's up to you, whichever you're comfortable with. So I'm going to go ahead and melt these, and then I will bring the cake balls out. Alright guys, so I took my cake balls out of the freezer. This is what they look like. And I melted my chocolate on the stove just because I'm more comfortable with that. And then I have my candy eyeballs, my blood candy spray, and my red writing gel. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put our white chocolate on top of our cake balls first, and then decorate with the rest. Alright, so I mentioned I'm going to do my white chocolate first. You want to do this before it gets hard. So I'm just going to pour it on top, and I'm going to spread it around. That way when the eyeballs go, they could go right in the middle. And you can do as little or as much white chocolate you want. It depends on your preference of chocolate and how much you like. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the frosting for all of these, and then I will be right back so we can do our eyeballs. Alright guys, here are my cake balls with the frosting on top, or white chocolate. Now we're going to go ahead and decorate with the red writing gel, and then we're going to put the eyeballs on top. Here is the red gel that I made. It's basically the vessels of the eyeball. Next, we're gonna put on the eyeball so it can come to life. Alright guys, now with the eyeballs, I'm just gonna place them in the middle of the cake balls and I'll be right back. Alright guys, here is the finished product. Red velvet spooky eyeballs. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Now if you made any Halloween desserts yourself, go ahead and comment down below what they were so I can see what all we're making this year. Thank you for watching. Bye.